more misbehaving, no more miss me not, no more misbehaving, then I'll see what you have got. No more stormy weather, no more, that's for sure. No more stormy weather, I won't see you anymore. Bring it down, bring it back forever. Bring it down on the ground. Safe and sound, bring it back to never. Bring it down on the ground. No more secret talking, no more nails on top. No more secret talking, I don't think you'll ever stop. No more misbehaving, no more miss me not, no more misbehaving, then we'll see what you are not. Bring it down, bring it back forever. Bring it down on the ground. Safe and sound, bring it back to never. Bring it down on the ground.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. So welcome to our viewer who is joining us today for the Black Unicorn and the White Witch. We normally give you a little more warning. I'm Miss Shannan. That's T Money over there. I like that. T Money. I like that. Thank you to our the person who provided our intro show, the fantastic Andy Parker, and his producer Frost Gamble for misbehaving. Thank you to our closing song that we use, courtesy of our friend T. Aaron Cisco / Trey Aaron. So normally, like, it's just been a busy day. So hello. So I want to show you this.
Busy.
You didn't get to see this, so we'll get to. Normally, I'd be like more. Like, oh my gosh, we need more people to be watching, but I lost a bet and we'll see why I'm not in a big hurry to do that. But so Tiffany, you are a big, you know my mom a lot. My mom's 70th birthday is coming up, and I know she's not watching this, so that's why I'm okay doing this. So my sister Casey picked a very fancy specialty cake. Made for her, and it's hiding at my house, and I had to bring it downstairs because Cyclone Kid gets home in a little bit, and I don't want him messing with it. And he would be like, and it's not like he would even eat it because it doesn't look. Here's the reason why I'm showing it to you is I know that you are an amazing baker and not always a fan of baked goods that don't look like food.
Yeah.
So like those
That's
things.
my favorite trend.
Yeah. So this is because she's really into owls and some other stuff. We found a specialty baker in town that, Thirsty Whale Bakery. And so the Stacy's Thirsty Whale Bakery made a specialty owl-shaped cake. And so this is what it looks like. So I'm going to tip it in there.
Okay. Oh. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so it's
like
so
it's an owl in a tree.
correct. So it's so realistic. And
It's really good.
Cyclone Kid really likes owls.
Oh.
And so like he has a stuffed owl. He watches a lot of owl videos. I don't think that he'll get it's a cake.
Right.
So I have to put it away. Like
Yeah,
it looks too authentic because he'll go, I can mess with that. And I'm like, no, that's for grandma. And he'll go, yeah.
If your life was a sitcom, this would for sure be one of the weeks. Like
Right.
this would be it would be the cake episode.
Right, exactly. And so rather than lean into that, and I am usually okay if you get to decide if your life is a sitcom or a drama, I usually lean into I choose to perceive my life as a sitcom versus a drama. So that is why I'm not leaving this out, because that's dumb. If I leave it up in our regular refrigerator for him, of course he's gonna come mess with it. What about that doesn't look like?
Oh, I'm touching that.
Exactly.
I'm right now, and I'm not even there. It's
exactly. So
I want to see how they did it.
Yeah, so I brought it down, and so I'm just like, okay, because I don't want to see that. So I had to like grab that as well. So everybody else, I'll show you a picture. Well, if you don't see, we'll roll it back. But I'm very impressed with it. It's beautiful, and they have these amazing reviews. And I was so excited that my middle sister found them, because it's very appropriate for our mom's birthday. Like the artistry and the creativity about it is perfect. So
can I ask how much does something like that such a bad?
Oh, excellent question. I don't know. I told her to tell me, and I would like PayPal her part of the money. I'm guessing $90. I'll text her.
I would say at least $100 for sure. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's that cheap.
Right. I could totally see if it costs more, because it's totally worth. Oh, $135.
There you go.
Yeah, it's $135, which is absolutely worth it. That's a lot of work.
It sounds like a lot of money, but when you think of what you got to do for all those ingredients, I'm assuming they're fondant.
Yeah. And I don't think it sounds like a lot of money, when you go all the stuff and the realism, the fact that if you watch any of those baking shows, this required some airbrushing, some paint. Like there's some detail work on this cake. It came out beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Like when she sent us the picture this morning, I was like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And then while I was
take so many Instagram pictures of that, because I want to see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it out of the box.
It is absolutely wonderful. Yeah, I'm not touching it too much because I don't want to wreck it. But that's okay. So it's all good. So what's been going on with you since last week? Okay, so last week, we'll get to the Super Bowl bet thing. Yeah. How did your Super Bowl party go?
It went really well. We were over at Brian's house and in Hudson, and the kids and their significant others were over. Not my child. My child was working. But we had potato skins. And we had jalapeno poppers.
Nice.
And what else did we have for the Super Bowl?
Italian roll-up thing.
Oh, he makes.
Does that his Instapot? Because that's the noise my Instapot makes. Okay.
He's making roast.
Okay, I'm all like, I heard that, like that's an Instapot noise kind of thing.
Yeah.
That tells you how much I use my Instapot, that I just recognize the noise.
You love your Instapot.
Oh gosh, yeah. It is the best thing that I've purchased in the last 5 years.
Mine is my Ninja XL grill, air fryer, roaster.
Okay. That is wonderful as well. That is absolutely wonderful as well. So, and plus I'm looking at our feed right now, and I feel like we're not going to our regular pages, so we'll have to post this over there. It's saying something like sending data. I don't know why it's saying that. So we'll figure it out later. Anyway. So
we'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post. So a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about, because you have been, and I've been very interested in this particular trend with my bestie, Tiffany Norton. You've been a lot more outdoorsy. You've never been anti-outdoorsy, but you've been more outdoorsy than I thought you would normally be. Like you would go on the occasional camping trip, but now you've been like, maybe I'm gonna buy stuff and move outdoors. And so I've been really fascinated by that. And so
I want a camper bad.
Do you have a reason why there has been this change in trend lately? Like what about it? What increased your wanderlust?
Well, Oh, well, just, I mean, because my parents, thank God, are all in good health.
Yeah.
For the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And my kid's, 23 now.
Mm-hmm.
And I live alone. I'm an empty nester.
Right.
So I've always wanted to travel. Minnesota's a great place to raise a family. It's a great place. We've got wonderful medical community and we have good schools and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not doing any of that right now.
Okay.
Now that you can work remotely, when I was in radio, I only got 2 weeks off a year.
Yeah.
Really. And so you really can't, other than like put together a couple weekends in that. So I've always been big into camping, but like my ex-husband just didn't like it at all. Now, Brian loves it so much so that like he'll go like, but he'll really camp. Like he'll just go with the stuff on his back and like portage.
I didn't go full Bear Grylls on stuff. Right. But I did go, let's go portage a canoe, carry things, stuff around. And I was like, yeah, I got called sturdy one time too many and stopped doing that.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Don't ever call a woman sturdy. Even if
it's true, don't say it. I was like,
word.
Yeah, now I'm not camping anymore.
Powerful.
Yeah. Right.
These are better words than sturdy.
Sturdy just makes it sound like I'm the girl on the bottom of the pyramid in cheerleader. Yeah. So I'm like, no.
Yep.
So
yep.
I haven't
call me plushy once. He's like, you're plushy. And I'm like, what does that mean? Plushy.
I agree.
He was like, but he was kind of like, but it works on you. And I'm like, oh my God.
You just doubled down on something that already wasn't a compliment. You wouldn't even works on me.
Oh my God. And I was like 130 pounds. I mean, it was like, I'm not plushy, dude.
No.
I mean, I still have
made up a word.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, mister, it doesn't look like you've missed too many meals either, sir.
Mm-hmm. So in your outdoorsness, have you been big into the ice fishing? Like I have a girlfriend of who's super into the ice fishing. Is that your jam?
I have never ice fished. I think I would like it though. I like to fish. I've just never known anybody who was really into it and had an ice house. Because I'm not gonna go sit on a bucket and drill out my own hole.
No.
And just sit there with a little, if I'm going, I want luxury. I want like the setups I see with a lot of people where they got like the wood burning stove in there. Yep. They got the satellite TV.
I talked to a gentleman who was that kind of woods related camper that had the satellite TV and all of the stuff. And he said he had a super fancy super fancy tent that had like the clear ceiling, and he took his generator and they had a flat screen TV that they took. So I'm like, well, then why do you leave the house if you take all the stuff? And he's like, well, you could do it in the woods. I'm like, I am now so baffled and perplexed. But he was like, it was fascinating to me that he loved going camping with his family, but it didn't sound camping related at all. Like everything about it was he took everything that just is at home, but then lived outside for a while. And that's what I didn't get.
If I was going to live in it, like you were going to go on, I was going to go on a long trek, like we're going to be in this RV for like 6 months or something, then I would have to have I would for sure have to have a TV, but I just bring my phone. I don't even bring a computer usually when I go. It's like, because that's not the point. The point is to go out and walk and be in nature.
That's what I thought. Right.
Yeah. And go swimming, go fishing, go golfing, go do whatever.
I'll go do stuff and then go back to a hotel. Like I'll be outdoors. I just don't feel the need to.
You're fine if there's a cabin. You want walls. You want a door. Preferably plumbing inside.
Correct. I don't need anything. I'm not trying to rough it. I did that. I feel like if you grow up poor enough, you're like, why do I need to rough it? I grew up roughing it. So, but this story I thought was neat. So here's a story that came out, and it was about this particular guy who also has a outdoorsman type blog, Get In There Outdoors. And so this particular Cody guy, here's the story where his buddy was setting up, they had set up all their ice fishing stuff. And then here's the actual video from it.
Okay. All right.
Yep, his gutty goes out.
And you gotta scoop the hole. I know that. The hole so it stays open.
So that's Cody there, getting himself comfortable.
All right. Just a couple of guys.
Yep, hanging out on the ice.
Hanging out in the ice. But yeah, I've never been ice fishing. Although I think I would like it.
All right, you hear the snowmobile start. wonder what happened there, Tiffany. So
I do.
So-
I wonder what happened.
So Cody is hanging out in the fish house, and his buddy had used his snowmobile to take the fish out there because it was a smaller one. And so his buddy's gonna go get some more provisions, forgot to unhook. Right, forgot to unhook the fish
Provisions?
house.
Yeah.
So he forgot to unhook the snowmobile from the ice house. And
This guy's just leaping for his life.
He's like, hey.
Yo, dude. And you
Cody-
can't hear anything above those snowmobiles.
Nope.
Snowmobiles are so loud.
Cody has now said that was the most viewed because he has a YouTube channel. He's like, that's his most viewed video, and he can't imagine that anybody would watch anything else more than that one. So there was no major done to him, and he was okay. His line was snapped though, and his other rod had to be thawed out because it was left in the snow. But he survived, so that's good. Could you imagine if your drunk friend ran you over with the ice tent?
You know, that's when I was waiting for somebody to step into the hole and have like the ice crack. That's what I was waiting for. This was I you know what? 2 thumbs up. I mean, it was a surprise ending. I didn't see it coming. I really enjoyed it.
I'm glad I didn't give you too much warning on that one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark H. Hello, Mark. Happy
Mark,
to see you. Glad to see you. Mark, you're here for a good week because last week I didn't even watch the Super Bowl. So you watched the Super Bowl. I had a gig. Thank you for everybody that joined us. Yeah, and it looked like it from the recap. So thank you to everybody that joined us at the show I was part of called Outpost. And Outpost was a fascinating show. It's a variety show, but it was put on by a number of concert violinists and cellists and performers from the Minnesota Orchestra. And so there was like this avant-garde opera singer and these amazing violists and all of these things. So I was honored to be part of the show. It's the kind of thing that I'm definitely going to send my sister to next time. I was like, this bougie variety show was super dope for my, I'm going to send them all the time. So thank you for that.
It's making sense now why I wasn't asked. Okay.
It's just a different.
You're like from the Minnesota Orchestra. Yeah. When people think high ticket prices, they don't necessarily think of old Tiff.
The show wasn't necessarily high ticket price. It was just kind of odd because it was.
There were a lot of elbow patches in that room.
Very elbow patches, a lot of sweater vests.
Yes.
Right. And that was like, and that's kind of my audience. And so I was totally like, once I got there, I'm like, oh, because when you read the thing, there was somebody who was reading part of her book. And so when you read the Eventbrite, I even was like, what am I doing? Okay. And they're like, so it was the most interesting variety show I've ever done. It was so fun. I was really glad that they asked me to do it. So that was super fun. But I did not watch a moment of the Super Bowl. And it was funny because when we got there, the guy who was putting on the show, he's like, thanks for coming. Yeah, he goes, I'm a concert violist and happen to be, gay. I didn't even occur to me to decide that there might be a football game in February. A really long time ago. Yeah. So it never occurred to him to even check that there might be something football related going on in February. And that absolutely made sense. And they were like, I had a friend come with me. I'm like, hey, do you care about the football thing? He's like, no. I'm like, cool. You want to come to this thing? So it totally worked out. So Mark, you should have come to this. You don't watch it either. So there's some people, I used to be super into football. You know that. I used to watch it every Sunday, and I just fell out in my last relationship, last relationship when I was married because my ex wasn't into it either. So I just got out of the habit. I just read all the recaps. But it does remind you how long we've been doing this show. And that part I think is interesting. So we had another bet regarding the Super Bowl. Last year, our bet regarding the Super Bowl was whoever lost was going to.
My feet still hurt.
So whoever lost last year was going to dress up in their old school club clothes, and they were going to do a 60-second dance in their Gucci shoes. So
murder heels.
In their murder heels. So because you lost last year and you're my best friend, I let you pick the bet this year. And I'm like, do you want to do murder heels again? And you're like, absolutely not. And so I'm like, okay.
I wasn't confident enough in my bet. I'm like, I'm not.
So this year, what we decided to do, and you picked this one, and I let you pick the team. So this was completely fair. So it's fine. So I'm like, you can pick the teams again. It doesn't matter. And your decision was that you were going to, whoever lost was supposed to dress up in their bathing suit, right? And then go and roll around in the snow, right?
Like rich people do when they sauna outside. It's
So,
very invigorating. It's good for the skin.
So I was the one to lose this year. And so I did do a slight take on it. So I live up to my commitments.
Yes.
I'm not even upset that I had to do it. I did wait until today because it got a little warmer today.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing that I did is that I'm trying to find it. Is this it? No. And so the other thing that I did is that I waited until today, and I thought that this would make sense because of one of the big stories from the Super Bowl was the halftime show.
Right. Always is.
And it was about the death drop that Mary J. Blige did during the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So to pay homage to that, I was kind of more in line with that. So are you okay with that?
I'm very okay with that.
Okay, so I'm going to.
It's an interpretive bet.
Yeah. So I'm like,
for bathing suit and snow. Other than that,
most of the stuff I followed through on. So I don't think I have the wrong screen. Gosh darn it. Not what I was trying to open. Technology. Close.
Technology. Well, I loved the halftime. A lot of people didn't like it.
I liked it. You didn't like it? I did watch it back.
I did like it. I liked it very much. I thought they did a good job representing LA. I
agree.
I thought it was about time. I mean, the NFL has definitely had some bad press.
As
far, as
far as
right.
Any representation.
Right. And then the fact that they told Eminem you can't kneel, and he did it.
He did anyway. Yeah.
Because it's Eminem. You're not going to tell
And they asked Snoop not to wear his colors, and he did anyway.
Yeah, they said he couldn't wear a blue bandana, so he wore a blue bandana outfit.
Right. Which I'm like, I appreciate your interpretation. So, I enjoyed it. I thought that, there were also my two sports, pro wrestling. Oh, Mark, we appreciate you kind of thing. So that's all right. We know a lot of people that are into baseball and pro wrestling. Like, we'll have to have our friend Jake on the show because he's also super into pro wrestling. And so he can talk about that a lot more than I could. I can
only talk about old professional wrestling. Like
me as well. Yeah, me as well.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I did do what I said. And so the bet was whoever lost was going to put on their bathing suit, right? And then go out in the snow. I also
it's ratings. That's why I said this. We need to get our shares up. We need to get our ratings up. See, Mark's excited. He said awesome.
I took a slight I got all three of my bathing suits out, and I immediately discarded the one that I knew you hate, because I know I have a bathing suit that you're like,
that would hurt my eyes. Then that one hurts my eyes. I understand it's a good mom bathing suit, but you are too young. You are not 65 and your name is not Gladys.
So here is what I came up with. So I think we can play this. So are you ready, Tiffany?
I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready. I'm leaning in. I got my glasses on and everything.
You ready? Here we go.
So you just let her rip when you're ready.
All right. So this is what happens when you watch The Black Unicorn and the White Witch and you lose the bet this year. So our bet this year was that whoever lost during our Super Bowl / big game bet was going to dress up in their bathing suit and then roll around in the snow. So in honor of the iconic Mary J. Blige and my best friend, Tiffany Norton, the White Witch. Here we go.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah. What?
Death drop.
That looks good. That looks great.
The birds, like we're in a Stephen King and
oh my god
Hitchcock novel. Get all the birds.
I love that you got the boot. Are those boots too? You're just doing it. Oh god.
You won. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, we're done.
All right, I'm recording. So you
that is enough.
Just let her rip when you're ready.
There we go. So
looks good. I like that bathing suit.
I know you do. You were one of the only people when I bought it. I sent you and one other of our girlfriends a picture. I'm like, hey, I bought an adulting bathing suit because. So yeah,
You're
that
a
goes.
good bathing suit.
Thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate you. So that's good.
Yeah, see, I told you.
Yeah.
A good bathing suit though is invaluable. I will pay whatever. I will pay if they're like it's $500, but it fits me perfect. I'm like, take my money. Don't
Fair
care.
enough.
It's so hard to find a bathing suit that you feel good in, that you feel comfortable in, that you feel like you look good. But yeah, I always say, even if you're broke, even if you're dead broke and you do not know how you're going to pay your rent, if you try in a bathing suit and it fits perfect, screw that rent. We'll figure it out later. Get the
Fair
bathing
enough. Life lessons. So no, I intentionally went on a pilgrimage after I showed up at your place because you have a pool at your place with my last bathing suit, and she had a couple White Claws in her, and she's all like, "Why do you wear that? It hurts my."
Why? No. What if I have 9 bathing suits, so it all look better on you?
It's so funny because you give me this bathing suit and it's me and you and our friend Diane. So suddenly it turned into like a scene from the Witches of Eastwick. Got it? Right.
I mean, we weren't eating cherries or anything, but
and casting hexes on. We weren't casting hexes on douchebags, but like, but there. I was like, so I'm excited to see what we come up with next year, kind of thing. And
have any suggestions for what our bet should be next year? God knows we probably won't remember, but think about it.
That's the good thing about us recording this, so that all works. So I know some people just popped in. If you popped in now, you have to watch the replay if you want to see what I look like in a bathing suit, because I'm not playing it again.
And it's good. It looks good. You should go back to that video though, when you're laying down, the angle that it's shot from, like that, it looks good. You should do a little still. That could be. It's not your LinkedIn page, but you know what I'm saying.
How about this? Here's a good thing, because I don't dress up like that very often. Like, you're one of the few people that if I do go, hey, I got the good lights out and I put on some stuff, I send you a picture. I'm like, think of these pictures, kind of thing. Which I don't remember who the story was. Their story, I think it was about Drew Barrymore or somebody like that. Drew Barrymore or another one of the, like, Alicia Silverstone, but not like one of those things. And
Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, younger. Not Charlize Theron. I should remember. Like, who's another person that was in Dirty Little Lies?
Jennifer Aniston.
No.
Reese Witherspoon.
Yes, it might be Reese Witherspoon. I have to Google it. But the story was really interesting because the story was about how this person had accidentally selfed some spicy selfies to, it turned out to be like a 14 or 15-year-old boy, and accidentally, and meant to send it to like a friend. And then the boy's like, hey, sorry, you misdialed, but don't worry, I won't send these to anybody. And it was part of the conversation was, well, why would she be sending it to her girlfriend? I'm like, that's who you send them to first to make sure.
That's the semifinals.
Right. Like, if you don't
finals yet, because it's like,
if you don't know that whatever partner you have, it doesn't matter. Like, whoever it is. Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, we do love Reese. So if you don't know that whoever your partner is going to respond appropriately, like if this is your first voyeur into sending spicy selfies, or you're like, do I even know how to appropriately do spicy selfies? Are these appropriately spicy? Then you don't send them to the significant or the partner first. You send them to someone you could trust. So I'm all like, Tiffany, I have spicy selfies, and they're not like filthy. They're spicy.
They're not. They're tasteful.
Yeah. They're like if I pay somebody to do boudoir photos, and not even that spicy. They're not even that spicy.
They're not Hustler.
No. I don't even think they're Penthouse, because didn't even Penthouse have pasties? Didn't they have like, that was full cleavage? There's no cleavage.
No, Penthouse was full nude.
No, I mean Playboy. None of them.
Playboy. Now they used to on their porn channel, on the Playboy channel. They did not. It was very airbrushed. And they didn't really show any of the penetration or any of that kind of stuff.
I've never even I don't have those, but even in the photos, just the stills, none of the stills aren't clothed. They're just clothed in like.
Yeah, but there's a lot of
anime girl costumes. There's skin, but there's no important skin.
Right. The best was when Madonna did Playboy and then didn't shave her pits. That was awesome.
She's all like avant-garde.
I am French. I am from Jersey. I know.
Absolutely.
All the dudes are like, she's hot, but ooh. And I'm like, really? Why do you?
It grew there on, it's not like she like went out of her way to grow it there. It's just where it goes. So relax. So I will think on this. Like I did go, that would make an interesting TikTok video. And I think I don't know if I'm gonna put it there. So I'll think on it.
Well, I think she should.
It because it would be good. Watch our live stream. Because it would be very bait and switchy though. If I'm all like, hey, watch our live stream. Here's the kind of things we talk about. And it's super not. It's like
once a year. You don't need to find that out, dude. You know what? If anybody gets mad, just say, you know what? We'll refund you the cost that you paid for us. Oh, that's right. You don't pay us.
Okay. Right. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. Like he said, you look like Maya Bielak.
Oh, the girl from Blossom?
She is from also the Big Bang
Blossom.
Theory and the new.
Yeah, but wasn't she Blossom?
No. And
she
the
was a good actor. What was the show?
Well, she's gonna be one of the new hosts of Jeopardy.
Yeah.
And she's a scientist and all kinds of things. So I'll take that. Yeah.
When I wear my hair curly, I used to get that I reminded people of Darlene on Roseanne.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All the people that I get, I'm like, not really, but okay. Because they're all doing well. So I'm like, not completely offended that you're saying that I have a kinship to someone who's popular and doing well. So I just go, yeah, but no, I don't look like Whoopi Goldberg. And no.
Usually people say, you look like the girl I didn't like in high school. That's what you look like.
And then you just flick your straw in their face. Just flick whatever straw you have in your beverage, just flick it at them like a small football. That's what you do. Anyway, that is the most. You know, I'm gonna I want to do we can do one more story, and I'm gonna get off kind of quickly because Cyclone Kid's coming home, and I want to get my act together. He normally gets home at 6, but I normally don't care if he's not here until right up. But I need to figure out where to hide this cake.
Oh yeah, you need that.
I need it put away appropriately in a place that he's not going to care about, because I do not want to be the person that turns into the story about our mom's birthday. Yeah, that's it. You know, that's not a thing. That's not a do. So we love you too, Mark. Thank you so much. We appreciate you for next week. Yeah. So I'm gonna go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean out my mini fridge in the basement and put it in there, because he's okay that mom's stuff lives in the mini fridge, so he'll probably leave it alone. But
when are you bringing the cake over?
Tomorrow, because her birthday's not until Tuesday.
You only have to safeguard it for like
right. And so I just need it. If I just put it away and he doesn't even know that it's here, then I'm good. Yeah. And that's what it is. And here's the thing, I know my kid. So it's fine for me to sit there and go, he'll probably not mess with it, but that's my fault then if he does.
I would mess with it. I would totally mess
with it. Because you'd want to look at it. It's in a box. He already thinks every package that comes for him is about him, kind of thing. There's no reason for him not to think that this is important to him. So I'm just going to make sure I put it away. So a couple of things that I want to talk about is I think that it's interesting that Daniel Radcliffe is going to play Weird Al in a biopic. I was like,
that was kind of an interesting choice. I mean,
he's a good actor, and the pictures are coming out about it now. And I'm like, okay, no. And it's going to be a comedy. So I wonder how tongue-in-cheek it's going to be.
I don't know, but I think it's weird they're making a movie about a guy who's still actively in his career. Like, it's going to be on the Roku channel. It's a biopic written by Yankovic and Eric Adams. Wrote it. Well, then I'm okay with it.
Right. And so he wrote it, and so it's gonna be this. I think it's gonna be it's a biopic, but it's a spoofo-pic is really what it's gonna be.
Right.
Yeah, and so it's not gonna be a real biopic. I think it's gonna be quite silly.
You think about a guy who is just absolutely a genius. You take only hit songs, and you change the word, make parodies of them. You don't have to write them. You don't have to do any of that. You just have to write your parody version of it. Brilliant. And
the other thing that's really good, because I've gone to numerous Weird Al concerts. He and his band are some of the most talented musicians in the industry
Yeah, I've
because
never
they
seen
sound
live,
like,
but I've heard that.
yeah, and because they can transform not only the way that the song and have it sound authentic, but then they can move into, here's a polka version, here's a this, here's a that. They are some amazingly talented musicians. And because I've seen him 4 or 5 times live, and I'm always just amazed by he and his band. They're fantastic. And it's always a great show. So I'm predisposed to watch this one, but I grew up listening to like the Dr. Demento radio show and all this stuff. So I'm excited about that. So I'm like, that's on my list. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is we a few episodes ago we're talking about weird things that people buy or create because they've got the money to do it. Especially like celebrities. And we're talking about, okay, if you had an unlimited amount of resources or a very high amount of resources, what would you spend your money on? And so this morning, one of the stories that I found was about Ed Sheeran. And so Ed Sheeran is creating on his property, it's a detached burial crypt.
Okay.
And so if you look at here, that's his overall land. So he's going to build a chapel that's currently under construction. The chapel is going to be there. It's going to have stained glass window and all this stuff. And then it also has a 2-body size crypt. And we have talked about there's a picture of the construction that's currently going on. You know, we've talked about, well, what do you want them to do with your body? So that's here's here's what it's going to look like. If you wonder what the the plans look like. And so we've talked about, well, what are you going to do after you pass on? Like, what would you do?
Right.
And I
want to design funerals. I want to start my own funeral design business where people design their funerals.
And I think that, you know, I'm now looking at this story because at first I'm like, there's not really enough of a market for it. But now I'm like, oh, clearly a lot more people than I thought are planning ahead to what they would do. And I know I would build some silly stuff. You know, we did that before. And it's just funny to me, like, they're not the only one. He's not the only one, because we were talking about a piece of property that Gwen Stefani and her husband have, Blake Shelton, and they've got a chapel.
Of course they do.
Right. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's a cool rich people.
Shelton. I am so in the minority on this. I know I'm out in the weeds. Everybody loves him. I just think he's like, I just, every time.
He's not my favorite, but I get it. Like, but I understand the counter.
So funny. Why?
The counter programming from what our classical description of handsome was. I feel like we've counter programmed for men to that sooner, where it's all like, here's the anti handsome that's now hot. I don't think that we've leaned to that as much for women. Like, it's still, a hot woman is still on the same scale that it was before. And now we're like, you know, so with men, and you know, we always get to with men first. They're like, well, if they have all these great talents and they're this and they're that, and they're really clever and they're a good dad, that makes them hot. And so they end up getting sexiest and hottest because we've now added that that's sexy, but we still lean into the physicality for women because we have a BS patriarchal society.
Well, and to me, it's not even that he's that bad looking. I don't even care about part of it. It's just, he's just dumb. He just comes across really dumb. Like, I mean, this woman had her own huge clothing business. This is a very accomplished businesswoman. He just seems like, I don't know. I think she's playing it safe. I understand. She got cheated on by the last one, so I get it.
So this one, he's a little more basic.
Of course.
Basic towny guy. Got it.
I want a greenhouse. I want, if I could do anything, in Waikiki Beach and Honolulu, or Oahu or whatever, there is a bar that is in a tree.
Oh, okay.
The tree is so massive, you know, it's, I don't know, 5 feet across the trunk, at least. And you climb up there and there's a circular bar and it's in a tree. I would definitely have an adult tree house.
Okay. I like that idea.
Coming out of the tree house for when mommy drinks too much. because I don't want to climb down the rope ladder.
Fair enough. I almost because there was some house in Plymouth, Minnesota that are shaped like water tower / pagoda type things. I almost bought one, and my realtor's like, "Yeah, you're not buying that. Like, there's only like 3 of them. You'll never get comps for it. So leave it alone."
You'll never get comps for it, and a lot of times, like dome homes and underground homes and stuff like that, a lot of banks won't finance them.
Yeah, and so he's like, "We're not doing that." And so I'm like, "Okay, fine
for those babies."
Yeah, but I think what I would have is that I keep thinking, what do I want? And I'd have to still think on it. Like I found that story this morning. Like I used to think I wanted a racetrack, but then I just was like, but you don't like driving like that. But I did like when I would see those movies and they would have like a mini car racetrack in their backyard. So I do think that I would, if we lived someplace warmer, enjoy a mini golf thing.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Like having.
I would love to. Oh my God, like Tiger Woods has. Do you know Tiger Woods has in his back on his property, one of his properties, he has the exact replica of Augusta National.
Oh,
where they play the pictures.
Yeah,
he has it totally copied from them.
Because I grew up in Arizona and California where you had giant mini golf places like golf and stuff, and it's like an adventure. I was like, I always liked that, and that would be fun where you go out there and it has all the windmills and the things and the water features. I like that. Like I'd think, but I'll still have to think about it. I'm sure that's not ideally what I want if I was a infinite amount of money rich people.
I also want something like SeaWorld that they had at the bar, where there's the huge tank of water and then the mermaids come and swim in it, but I would only have mermen.
Okay. All right.
Or
your ocean, your ocean, your aquatics. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Right. You do that. So we will make sure that we're back here next week. I know that we'll eventually have some more stuff we should promote, but this week, go out there, be nice to the people that are near you. We have a couple of fundraisers, like the With All fundraiser I'm doing on Thursday, and then we'll be together for the Youth Advantage fundraiser, which is going to be supporting Youth Advantage in Stillwater. So Tiffany and I are doing that together on Friday. And so just very fortunate that right now we get to do a lot of those kind of things.
And Wednesday, if you're not busy, come to Sisyphus.
Yes.
Fundraiser for our dear friend Sarah McPeck, who
thank you for reminding us,
diagnosed with cancer. And we are trying to. She's raising 2 kids. They're adults, but they're not. You know how it is.
They haven't flown completely.
They're 21 and 19. So still need their mom a lot. And then I'll be at the Moose. Happy President's Day tomorrow, everybody. I work for a bank now, so I have the day off.
I'm putting Sarah's link in here, so thank you for reminding me. So that's in there. So you can come and see us.
To that, and then I'm headlining at the House of Comedy on Sunday.
Perfect. Yeah. So we'll have all kinds of things that are going on, and so we'll make sure that we put in the chat all the information. So if you want to see us first here, and then go see Tiffany at the House of Comedy, go to houseofcomedy.net. I'll pull that up as well, and go see her. It's a really good venue. You have a good time.
And it's cheap. You can spend all the money like you do for the national headliners. I'm cheap. Save your money. Just as much fun.
That's true. That's true.
I just don't have Netflix credits or whatever.
Yeah, you have more credits.
The Netflix I watch. I should.
As seen watching, and put that. So there's your thing for Sunday night as well. So that's all out there. So I'm gonna go hide the owl cake.
Yes.
While I have time. And I'm sure I'll talk to you tomorrow. But everybody else, have a great week. Hope you enjoyed your 3-day weekend, and we will see you next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
My whole life trying to find some search for clues, trying to shake the sidewalk blues. Wanna feel like I won't fade away. Every next step that I take, the broken piece starts to bend shake. So I sat down and prayed for rain. When my record stars crash to the ground, my hands are fed, were tightly bound, and a voice said, "You're not all your own." When calamity began to compound and the whiskey rain stopped pouring down, that voice said, "I'm not on my own." Oh, it was Yahoo. Yeah, it was Yahoo. My whole life trying to find someone who'd take a little time to see that maybe I'm not worthless. But all my plans fell far from good, and all my words were misunderstood. I start to think that maybe I deserve them. When my lucky stars crash to the ground, and the hands of fate were tightly bound, heard a voice say, "You're not on your own." When calamity began to compound, the whiskey rain stopped pouring down, that voice said, "I'm not on my own." Oh, it was you. Yeah, it was you. Walk the streets and search for clues, trying to shake the sidewalk blues. Wanna feel like I won't fade away. Every next step that I take, the broken piece starts to bend shake. So I sat down and prayed for rain. When my record stars crash to the ground, my hands are fed, were tightly bound, and a voice said, "You're not all your own." When calamity began to compound and the whiskey rain stopped pouring down, that voice said, "I'm not on my own." Oh, it was Yahoo. Yeah, it was Yahoo.